All right, I'm here for my second dose. As you can see, I'm just setting up the cameras here. All right, there we go. So with that, I am back at Edmonds Community College for my second dose, and see, I'm fully masked up here. I haven't debated whether or not I want to do it on my left or my right arm. I'll ask him to see, hey, do you take it in the same arm or not? But again, very straightforward process, and we will go on the sides here. All right.
Hello.
Good morning.
May I get your confirmation code?
Yes, sir. It is right here. This is my second dose.
And have you had a severe allergic reaction to anything?
No. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here.
Well, most people don't react to it, even if they reacted to something else. Maybe put it in your left arm?
Yeah.
Okay. You're all set. You can pull forward.
Okay. Just a moment here. Gotta, well, let's see. Just a moment.
Are the cars in park?
Yep.
Go ahead and open the door.
Yeah, well, let me also get the arm ready too. All right,
That's
so
the most important thing.
yeah, that's the most important thing. All right, so there we go. As always, social media influencers. That's the type
Is that
of
what
thing.
you are? Okay.
That's the thing
Okay.
I am.
So I gotta
Okay.
look like I know what I'm doing then.
Yep. All right. And just let me know.
Okay, are you ready?
Yep.
Okay. 1, 2, 3.
3.
And in. There we go. Good job. You didn't.
Okay.
This is your second dose?
Yep.
Alright. And like last
Alrighty.
time, you're gonna go the 15-minute wait area.
Yep. Okay. All right. Thank you. All right. There we go. In and out and quick.
Thank you.
Second dose of Moderna in the system. Hopefully no severe reactions, and we will then go for the 15-minute waiting zone. So again, in and out, quick, right on the deltoid, maybe a little bit higher than I was hoping for, but we'll see if that makes a huge effect. I don't think it will. So there we go. We're 2 shots in the system. And I'm going to be swimming later this afternoon to loosen the arm. And hopefully there won't be any significant side effects. I am taking tomorrow off in terms of the workout schedule. So I won't be doing anything intensive tomorrow. Probably only a 5-mile jog. Taking it easy and going from there. So there we go. So what I'm gonna do is get it ready in here. I'm gonna do a little bit of paperwork on my end. More or less is for me personally. But apart from that, for those that have viewed the first video, so I forgot to post of a video showing what were some of the other related effects that I had. I had mild side effects from the first dose, which was just general sore arm, maybe a little bit of chills, but really that only lasted for like 6 hours at most. Not even, I wouldn't even call it chills. It was kind of, well, my body was feeling a little cold, but nothing from there. So apart from that, let me go and turn off the car. And again, there wasn't anything too severe. Actually, it really was just mild. Now that I've closed all the windows until they come up to me, then I'll put the mask back on, which I think they will. So we'll have it total on there, and then yeah, so just 2 days, I think it was. The second day really wasn't much. So that Saturday, which was I think April 9th, no, April 10th, yeah, that was a little bit more. But even that wasn't too bad. Probably shouldn't have run that 10 miles, so that's why I'm decreasing the mileage. Plus, this week is a recovery week for me. I've had 3 solid, hard weeks of training. So this week is easy, and it's a recovery week. So I got to let my body absorb the hard training that I had. And this week was kind of rough on the work schedule as well. So, hey, it's okay taking it a little bit easy once in a while. I wouldn't throw myself a little harder than I have to. And then, aside from that, we have 14 days from the second shot to when you get 95% effectiveness from the vaccine. And yeah, we'll see how the arm feels. I mean, I expect some arm soreness to appear a couple hours, and I think the swim will probably exaggerate it. It's to get blood flow in. But again, we will see what happens. And yeah, so apart from that, I'm kind of in the waiting queue to see if there's any allergic reactions, which I did not get any allergic reaction from the last shot. So we'll see what happens this time. And once we go through 2 weeks, then we will have more of an update. Then we will be officially call myself fully vaccinated after 2 weeks. But until then, even with full vaccination, we don't know how this virus goes and mutates. So there's going to be many different types of variants. The situation at the time of this recording, which is May 7th, I mean, the situation in India is just, it's terrible to see what's happening in India. And we should really be, and for those that are hesitant to take the vaccine, I have not had any personal reactions to it, aside from just the mild side effects, which are very typical of a vaccination. Not much different, if any, than a flu shot. And I'd much rather have mild symptoms than to actually have the flu, or even worse off, have COVID. So that's, again, my personal experience on that. I won't try to throw you with facts and data as a typical engineer would, but that's how I personally feel about this. And if there's any questions on it, yeah, please reach out to me. Post a comment in the YouTube video. I won't do my normal robotic scheme of saying, well, go and click and hit the subscribe button, because I think every YouTuber is going to say that. But hey, again, get vaccinated. And it's just simply the right thing, at least with our time. And in the United States, we are very privileged to even have vaccines this readily available. We're at a point right now with capacity and supply to where pretty much anybody can get a vaccine. And recent news here in the United States is folks that are 12 years and older are most likely going to be able to be eligible for vaccination pretty soon, probably within the next few weeks here. So by all means, go and get vaccinated. Go on the science and the data. Don't go on religion, in my opinion. But again, everybody's entitled to their own thoughts and opinions, because we are a free country. But do the right thing. And sometimes doing the right thing is not always popular. So again, do the right thing. And the closer we can get back to normal, the closer that we can get to the things that we want to do. So go and get vaccinated. So here I am back in the middle of the week. So the date when I'm recording this section is May 12th. So this is a couple days after the Moderna second dose. And I will say that the second dose, I did have a more significant reaction. I think it was that Friday night going into Saturday. I definitely could not sleep that night. it was a significant fever, and my heart was throbbing for the night. But I took an ibuprofen, and I suggest for those that do have symptoms, take the lowest dose medication either prior to sleeping, or if you do feel it, try to take as low of a dose as you can to reduce symptoms. But I did have a fever and a temperature around 101, but I knew that it wasn't going to be everlasting, and for the most part, it only lasted about 4 hours. So, but it was basically a moot night for sleeping, and so I basically took Saturday, which was the day after I got the shot. I basically took that day off from training perspective. So, overall, so Saturday was essentially, I just stayed at home and just continued to sleep, continued to have fluids, and I did a short bike trainer ride towards the end, but again, anything severe, and I shouldn't say severe, but nothing of high intensity, just to make sure that my body had the chance to go and fully recover. And Sunday, I did a long bike ride, but I didn't really put in a super amount of power because I didn't know how my body was going to feel. I did that, and then a brick run afterwards, and felt fine. So I was able to get through the symptoms within about 48 hours of having the second dose. So the side effects, although they are significant, they don't last incredibly long. And I know the CDC guidelines is usually within 72 hours of receiving that second dose is usually when the side effects are the most severe. And that was the case for me. So, but that being stated, the side effects are a good thing, in my opinion, because it shows that the body is reacting to the vaccine accordingly. And it's producing an immunological response, which is appropriate given how COVID is. And it just made me think about those that are suffering from COVID. I mean, my heart was throbbing through that night, but then I thought about, well, what are COVID patients going through? What are people that actually have COVID? And I thought to myself that they're going through this every single day. So the fact that I was able to get through these side effects and symptoms within one day, it's going to be a lot better than those that have gone through COVID. I mean, their time length and having to go through any types of symptoms are going to be a lot longer than what I went through in the side effects. So to me personally, the risks totally are overshadowed by the benefits here. And I would completely recommend for those that are relatively hesitant, I'd much rather deal with 1 day of not feeling great versus 6 days of not feeling great or potentially going to a hospital or dying. That's a very simple math equation for me, but I know that there's folks that are out there that might want to see how more people have dealt with the side effects and stuff. And for the most part, I was able to get through it with an ibuprofen or two, and I was basically on my way from there. So overall, again, this is Wednesday the 12th of when I'm recording this, and all the side effects are gone, and I feel great, and I'm back on my regular training plan as though I never really had the vaccine shot. So, but we know that antibodies aren't fully in place until about 2 weeks afterwards. So I'm still, of course, in that middle of the 2 weeks. So still continue to wear that mask where you can, and even especially as the temperatures start getting warmer here, people will probably want to continue to stay indoors, and and we know that COVID is transmissible through the air, so it's important to mask up, especially when you're in enclosed spaces where there's not a lot of circulation or indoors. So even if you're fully vaccinated, you don't know what will happen with asymptomatic spread. So do the right thing, mask up, bring your mask with you. I would say anywhere you go, even outdoors, because you never know what situation you're going to come into. And personally, I still bring my mask wherever I go because more for the allergies nowadays. Because I will say the allergies is the masks help me in terms of reduce the symptoms of the allergies. Where uh, previous in previous years and in the many years that I've at least lived in the Seattle area, now having the mask on at least during the tree pollen season here has been very helpful. But overall, the reaction from the vaccine has been was more severe than the first dose, which I had planned and expected for based on some of the feedback I got, and I certainly got the side effects. Sometimes I felt like in full force, but it only lasted a couple of hours. So, well, I mean, it lasted the nighttime, but the couple of hours, I think it was around like 4 a.m. that suddenly, boom, I went to sleep, and I woke up at 9 or 10. So, and I felt better, but I just slept throughout the day. So, do plan to basically take that next day off if you do plan to take the vaccine during the weekdays. Or if you're like me, then I try to take the vaccine on the Friday, and then that way I have the whole weekend to recover. So, apart from that, that's some of my thoughts and reactions to the vaccine. And there you have it. And if you, of course, like the content of this video or would like to see more of this type of content, go and hit that subscribe button for me and hit the bell notification to get the latest and greatest of videos that I post. I try to post every week, but given that I'm also working full time with another job, I don't always, I'm not always able to commit to that schedule. But that being stated, yeah, I'll see you in the next one.